All right. Hey, I'm back. I'm so excited. So, really, thank you for your patience in waiting. This vlog, right, is titled In the Silence. And so, I wanted to explain why I've been quiet for a couple weeks. I've been doing a lot of reading and self searching in the last 2 weeks because there was a point where I'm like, oh, I'm really confused. And I was also really just busy at the same time. So confused and busy don't mesh well together. So in the last couple of weeks, I did a very shortened version of the Ignatian discernment. So Ignatian discernment can take 30 days if you do a full retreat, a full 30-day retreat. I didn't need the 30 days to do it. And I was trying to decide if I should move forward with buying a business coach's income stream program. For short, it's called HBR, or the long name for it is Home-Based Revolution. And that's Martha Krejci. So if you wanted to look her up, you totally can. If you want to get started with that, let me know so I can get you a discount code. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, part of the Ignatian discernment is going through the variety of steps. There are 3 steps. Well, there's the preparation step, technically, and then the step 2 is the discernment. And there are 3 different phases within that. So there's phase 1 where like, yep, you already know what it is. You've got it. God downloaded it directly into your brain. I had that happen to me with Seamus's middle name, Elijah. So that is how he was named Elijah. God just said, this is his name. So yeah, there's that. And then there's version 2, step 2 within the discernment process, which actually has 2 phases. The first one is the good spirit gives consolations and the evil spirit gives desolations. While the second phase, they're both giving consolation because the evil spirit knows better, knows you that you are more strong, faithful to God's plan. And so the evil spirit tries to mimic the good spirit and give you consolation. The difference, though, is that the consolation from the evil spirit will fade into desolation. And so that it does not stand the test of time, while the good spirit will. The third step or option for knowing God's plan is really doing what a lot of us have been told since we were little, doing the pros and cons list. So this is the better thing, this is the good thing. And that's what I ended up doing with the HBR, is actually doing phase 3. And then the final step is the post-discernment phase. And that's actually planting your flag in the ground and saying, yep, I'm doing this. This is how I'm committing. And so I did. I ended up actually getting into the program, which I'm really excited about. And the other big major discernment that I did in these last couple of weeks is, who am I meant to serve and how? And that's really important if you are looking to serve other people and to know what your niche is, essentially. And at first, the Little Respite was really meant and designed, as if you've seen the Happy Birthday one, to serve busy moms who needed spiritual refreshment. The intention was for mothers to have the resources available at their fingertips to catch some time with God before they moved on to the next task. And I intended the Little Respite to become a retreat center for moms, especially with moms with little children, to have a daycare on site. And then that way the mothers could go just rest and be with Jesus, because that was my biggest struggle when I was a new mom. But then I got stuck when I realized that my blogs, they weren't really about that kind of spiritual nourishment. Now, they do have spiritual themes to them, right? But it is more about transformation, transforming the person, becoming the best you can be. And so I was like, oh, well, I guess I didn't set up the Little Respite to be what I thought it was going to be. And I felt lost and confused and empty. I didn't know who I was supposed to actually be serving and how I was supposed to be serving them. And then I had a facade of consolation. The ideas hit a dead end, and I was like, oh, maybe I'm supposed to help people with transformation. But that too was like, I didn't want to go there. I was like, I don't really like re-entering my past. I don't like having to walk back into that fire. But as I sat and prayed, I really just was stuck. I was stuck in this fog, um, partly because I didn't know who I was going to serve. And if the transformation was really the path I was supposed to go, I wasn't really willing to go there yet. And so I used a method called AFT, so Aroma Freedom Technique. It uses essential oils and the love and light to remove emotional and mental blocks that cause the foggy feeling that I was feeling. You can also use it for other things, but in this particular case, that's what I was using it for. And in my AFT session, I discovered that I really wasn't too far off my own path, or understanding my mission from God. Um, I was right about who I was to serve. I am to help mamas who are like me. Not the me of today, but the me of 10 years ago. The me who went, I'm in this marriage and now I'm going to have a kid. And what do I do now? Because my parents are great, and um, they are supportive and they did the best they can with what they knew how. I just didn't want to be like them. And so I had to discover a new way of parenting. I had to discover and heal a lot of my past and my history. And if you go ahead, check out my story, you can totally see my transformation story of where I was and where I'm going and where I've been. And that's just something to know, right? Um, I discovered that my mission was more than just helping mothers who lost their faith rock, or even mothers who needed to remember to practice self-care. Um, I realized that both of these were actually just subheadings under a bigger picture. And so when I understood that, I actually became very peaceful. Like, I think about that moment and I can just see myself, right? I can feel the peace that I was like, yes, those are subheadings. Those are parts of it. Getting back on my feet financially, getting that, my financial house in order. I think I've heard that. I don't remember who that is, and I apologize. But yeah, it's just getting your financial house in order. Learning to be a better parent, really understanding spare the rod, spoil the child may not necessarily be true. So just all those different things that are part of me transforming who I am, healing who I am, who I was, and moving forward to who I want to be. So Matthew Kelly calls that the become a better version of yourself. And I know that is what I wanted to do, but I didn't know what my mission was, right? And so after my AFT session, I was like, okay, but I still didn't know my mission. I knew not all the subheadings. I knew quite a few of the subheadings. So I decided to journal for clarity. And so I focused my daily exam in journal, and really my almost daily exam in journal. I don't quite do it daily, but the point is I do it, right? And my consolation, or I felt most connected and least connected to my mission, because I really wanted to fish out what is my mission. And so of course, my least connected was before my AFT session, and my most connected was after my AFT session. And again, like I said, I wasn't dissatisfied with knowing the big picture. So I continued to journal. And as I was journaling, it just flew out of my pencil. I don't use pen. I like pencil. I prefer pencil. It's a thing. And I ended up blending the two missions together to form the right path. The bigger picture is to journey with moms to heal their pasts so they can create a healthier, not a healthier, to create healthier futures for their children, or a healthier future for their children. There you go. That's where I was going with that. So when I say my mission out loud, I'm like, yeah, that's it. Moms, that helps with the spiritual piece, right? If you lose your spiritual rock, you need to find that again. And the transformation piece is obvious with the healing, because you need to heal yourself. And there's also the self-care piece. So we're pulling all of these together, and I'm like, yeah, my mission is to help moms heal their pasts so they can create healthier futures for their children. And that just makes me smile. Inside smile, peace smile, joy. I don't know if I'm radiating because I don't have the actual video up in front of me, but that's how I am right now. I do get tingly all over, and the doubt disappears. I have been able to move forward into reaching out to different groups and in groups as the expert from my past, from what I know. And that's where we get our biggest wisdom, is the download from God. And sometimes that download is experience. And I would suspect probably most of the time of our wisdom will be from experience. So the next big decision is, how is the best way to serve those mamas? Reach out into different groups, right? I will continue to blog and make the blog videos for those who'd rather listen to than read. Or if you're like me, you only have time to listen and you don't have time to read, right? And then after that, I will follow the HBR program step by step to watch this new world develop. And I'm really excited about that. So eventually, if I still feel called, I will start the Little Respite Retreat Center. But for now, the Little Respite is the time, the space and place for people to take time to heal themselves, take time for themselves, so their children can have a better future. So this week's challenge is, what are you discerning? Journal and or find someone to journey with you and discuss your discernment with him or her. We do have a Little Respite community, and part of that is the journeying together. And the books that I've mentioned in the blog today are A Handbook for a Spiritual Director and A Nation Guide for Accompanying Discernment of God's Will by Timothy Gallagher. And I will drop the links to that in the books down below. And the other one is the Aroma Freedom Technique. I referred to the technique. I didn't refer to the book. But you can also find a specialist, a certified specialist, to help you through it. The Aroma Freedom Technique, using essential oils to transform your emotions and realize your heart's desire, by Benjamin Purkis. And so I do have the Amazon links if you just want to go get those books. Or if you want to join the Little Respite community, we, as you know, we're out on YouTube. We have a Facebook page, a group, Instagram, and my webpage, which is thelittlерespite.com. And I look forward to having you. So again, I just would like to thank you for your patience and your time, and I will talk to you later. Thanks. That was weird.